It's me, Laurel Ann. I'm here today with a very special guest. This is my sister, Louisa. Hi. Do you want to just give a quick introduction? Maybe talk about like your reading taste?
Yeah. I am her younger sister. I used to read a lot more than I do now. I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Yeah, she used to read like way more than me when we were younger.
I mean, I wasn't allowed to use the internet. I didn't have internet privileges, so I had to do something.
She was carrying around like a huge ass copy of Les Mis for like 10 years.
For all the good it did me, I read like 100 pages. I just finished college with a bachelor's in accounting, in case you're hiring. I'm trying to get back into reading. It used to be a source of a lot of joy for me. And you've helped be an inspiration for me. It helps watching your channel and hear you talk about interesting books and thinking like, wow, I remember when I used to read interesting books as well.
So I thought like to introduce her into the lore of my channel, we would just do a simple tag video. So I spent some time this morning trying to pick one where like you wouldn't have to have a lot of like specific knowledge about different books or like do some like any research or anything. And I found one that I think is perfect for us. So today we are doing the Mamma Mia book tag.
Oh, I'm very excited about that.
Funny enough, this is actually one of 2 Mamma Mia book tags. I found my people. So this one is created by Emma Tobias. I just fancied the questions in this one a little bit more. The first question in the Mamma Mia book tag is pick your 3 dads. So 3 book characters who you would want to be your dad.
I was going to say Arthur Weasley, but then I thought of other things regarding Harry Potter.
It's okay, like Arthur Weasley is not problematic.
That's true.
Like
okay.
I don't think he's a transphobe.
It's very true. Arthur Weasley, he's just so passionate and loving, and I feel like he would be the best to talk about your own interests with and find out about things that you perhaps didn't know about. Like if he were my father, presumably I would have grown up in a pure blood family, so I wouldn't know anything about the Muggle world, and I think I would find it really, really interesting to hear about his, if a little misinformed, very intriguing research. Second, I'm going to say Mr. Bennet.
Okay, why?
He's not the most supportive father. Like, he's not the kind of father that you can talk about your real boy troubles to and he's gonna like comfort you, but life will always be a lot funnier with him. And my third pick would be Hans Huberman from The Book Thief, because I remember when reading it as a young child, I was always just really struck with the great care that he showed the protagonist. There's like an energy that he has, this kind of quiet, unbothered air. He's the supportive father that Mr. Bennet is not.
If I'm not mistaken, I feel like he also plays the accordion.
Yes, he does.
So like we love a musical dad.
Yeah, I could learn the accordion from my musical dad.
Should I also answer the questions?
I don't know.
For me, just briefly, Matthew Cuthbert from Anne of Green Gables, because like he was a precious baby angel and he would support you like no matter what. Like we could literally murder someone and he would just be like, I love you though. Rubius Hagrid, for similar reasons, but also I feel like he would bring like quite a lot of fun to your life.
You would also have like as many pets as you wanted.
I know, the pets is definitely part of it. And then the third one is the dad, I can't remember his name, but the dad in The Title Zone.
Yes.
He's just like such a good dad. Like yes. He is supportive, but also like knows when to put his foot down. He's a stay-at-home dad. He's smart. He like, yeah, he's caring. Like he's
encourages intellectual development in his children.
Exactly. Yeah, he's the perfect dad.
Yeah.
In a perfect book. The next question is about Meryl Streep and Cher. Pick a book that can do no wrong.
Pick a book that can do no wrong.
So basically just like a book that you think is like perfect. Yeah.
Honestly, although I've already mentioned it once, The Book Thief, it captures the innocence of childhood so well, and that's what makes the tragedy and the heartbreak and the difficulty that much more poignant. But it never feels ham-fisted, it never feels contrived. It always just feels so natural. And the characters are all just so lovingly crafted.
I also remember, it's been so long since I read that book, but I also remember that like the writing is beautiful. Those birds are so fucking loud. For me, it would be Jane Austen's Emma, just because like name one mistake in that book. There is none. It's perfect.
Period.
And that's on a period.
The next one is Here We Go Again, a book to read over and over again.
You know what? I think for me, it would be The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Ooh.
I feel like it really is one that is going to influence you in different ways at different points in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna relate to different characters at different moments. And it's one that like I have thought about so many times since the first time I read it. So many times from so many angles, and I still don't 100% know who I specifically think, whose philosophy I think is the philosophy for me.
I would have to say Night Flying by Rita Murphy. I've talked about this like so many times on my channel in the last like couple months, but it's just like, it's a book that probably the book that I've read and reread more than any other book, and it's just like short and sweet and like so nostalgic for me. The next one is I was cheated by you, and I think you know when. A book / author / character that you felt cheated by. There's one answer that's like,
that's the obvious one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's just keep it at that. You can dance, you can dance, having the time of your life. Ooh. Okay, what's the question? A book that made you want to be a dancing queen, which I think just means like a book that makes you happy.
A book that makes me happy. A lot of the books that I can think of off the top of my head, as like reading in the last few years especially, have been kind of dark in tone. I'm gonna say something that is gonna make it seem like I'm just copying you, but Pride and Prejudice.
You did just read it recently.
Yeah.
So why does it make you happy?
Well, number one, because I remember growing up together watching like every adaptation there's ever been of any Jane Austen property and really enjoying it and like it giving like a specific feeling, but also it has like the perfect ending, you know, like the characters all get what they're due. There are moments where you like the first time you're experiencing the story, obviously you think that like there's not really that much hope, which just makes the ending all the sweeter. There's just this glee to the ending. It just feels like this, you're basking in joy with these characters.
This is the very last question.
Okay.
Are you gonna sing with me this time?
No.
Out.
Mamma mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed ya. Yeah, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. My, I should never let you go.
All that is to say, a book that you think would make a great musical.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about it like all day.
Do you have your answer after all that thought?
When I was in college, I was in my close friend Tolly's, for one of her first student films, which was about a theater company putting on a musical of Fight Club. She chose Fight Club because it's like an inherently ridiculous idea. But ever since then, I've been thinking about it every waking hour. I actually think it would make a great musical because I think one of the like central themes of Fight Club is this idea of like toxic masculinity, like taken to its logical conclusion, kind of. A musical is something that is like socially seen as like antithetical to masculinity, so I think it would make like a very, like, done by the right people. You know, it would have to be in very capable hands, but I think it could be something very interesting. Also, like, if West Side Story taught us anything, it's that dancing fight scenes are the best thing in the world.
Something that just springs to mind is Stargirl.
Ooh, okay.
It's just so... It has such a fun feeling. The stakes are relatively low, but the characters feel like the stakes are so, so high. And I feel like that is the sort of thing that translates really well to the stage. Like this intense passion felt around things that like maybe don't actually matter that much. I feel like Anne of Green Gables would be an interesting...
Yeah, that would be good because she's just like such a dramatic person and everyone around her is like...
It would be exactly the right story to use like unconventional storytelling through diegesis. It would have to be a really ambitious project though, because the set would have to be really good. Because so much of it is about this place.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Prince Edward Island is a character. Right. That's the end of the tag. Thanks for joining us. Leave Louisa lots of love in the comments.
Yeah, my LinkedIn will be in the bio.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Digging the dancing queen.
Is dinner ready or do we...
Yeah, it is, I think.
Okay.
Should we eat out here or inside?
Let's eat out here.
Should we get Love Island on?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah!